Welcome to the 40 Finance channel, everybody. My name's Jeff Beers. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most watched stocks in the stock market, or at least in the medical side, and that is Inovio. Inovio's come out. They're in the big race for a coronavirus vaccine right now. They're one of the first companies to actually make some progress on the vaccine. And while it's still early, there's a lot of PR and press and excitement going around on this company. So is Inovio a buy or sell right here at the end of April? That's what I'm jumping into. As a reminder, my stock picks and projections are for entertainment purposes only. Please talk to a financial professional before taking on the risks of investing in the stock market. However, if you do love stock market analysis like I do, digging deep on the latest and greatest names on the stock market, then please subscribe to the 40 Finance channel. Thank you to everybody who's become a subscriber. All right, as I alluded to a couple minutes ago, Inovio was one of the first companies to come out and publicly say we're making progress on a coronavirus vaccine. They have an algorithm of some kind, software in their company that identified a potential match for making a vaccine. And Inovio claims that this algorithm, software, database, whatever it is, actually found a match within 3 hours using AI technology. So not sure how true that is, but it's impressive if it is true. It also kind of makes some of us wonder, how effective will this be going forward? But that's kind of what we're going to find out here in the future. So obviously, from an investing standpoint, your average investor is going to see news like this. They're going to look at the opportunity like, hey, maybe there's something here. Inovio is a stock that was basically a penny stock. I mean, under $5. We'll get to the price history in a minute. And this could be, one of those easy entries, easy profit things, if it works out, at least on paper. The catch is, though, that Inovio is not the only company working towards this vaccine, and Moderna is another one that's getting a lot of press for exactly the same thing. And then there's also the equation of, hey, if a vaccine was made, approved, everything tomorrow, how much is that even worth? This is one pharmaceutical play that the government is not going to allow to get marked up, 400% just for profit. So there's a lot of pros and cons here to kind of dig through. Not to mention that the average vaccine approval process in a normal world typically goes from 12 to 18 months. Now, obviously, with the situation that the world's in now, health officials are, hypersensitive to the importance of time and getting something to the market. So I would say anyone who makes great progress will find that the government will work with them to try to speed it as much as possible. I don't know how much you can shrink a vaccine approval process from 12 to 18 months to, say, 6 months. I have no idea if that's even possible, but time is of the essence, and that is what makes some of these companies intriguing, including Inovio, because if they can work quickly, they could see revenues coming in at a quick pace. All right, taking a look at the stock, ticker symbol INO, and I'm just going to say it right out front here. There's not a lot to wrap your head around with Inovio stock right now from a fundamentals perspective. This is not a fundamental play at all. Stock price today is at $13.70. I pulled these numbers early in the morning before the market opened. The after hours trading had it at $14.50. I believe right before this video we were at about $13.60 or so on the price. You see no PE ratio, no earnings per share, no forward PE ratio, and take a look at this 1-year chart trading in and around $2 to $3 for most of the last 12 months, and only recently with the potential vaccine news did we see a huge spike. And at one point in here, the 52-week range climbed as high as 1936. So if you're not in this stock already, if you didn't already capitalize on the first bump up, you are already late to the party as of today. The question with this video is there any more money to make or should you take profits? Inovio's got 90 million or so cash on hand, debt load of almost 100 million, and revenue is paltry 4 million per year. Again, fundamentals are a mixed bag with a stock like this. You're betting almost entirely on future approvals. One call out that I don't normally include on this channel, as of April 15th, you had 14% of Inovio's shares sold short. So you have 14% of the stock out there is folks betting that it actually goes down. That update in April 15th is kind of old in regards to all this news that's going on. Most of this public available information would update again on April 30th or May 1st. My guess is the percentage of shorts goes up, only because we're looking at a speculation play here with Inovio. All right, so let's take a look at the TipRanks dashboard. Let's see where the best performing analysts in the TipRanks world have Inovio going forward. And quick shout out for TipRanks, I am a paid subscriber. I'm also an affiliate. You can check out my referral link down below to learn more about TipRanks service and how it helps guys like me analyze the stock market and bring you some of this information on this video about what the market as a whole is thinking for stocks and where the value lies. So check that out if you're interested in TipRanks. Now for Inovio, when we carve it up to just the best performing analysts in TipRanks, which is one of my favorite features, takes out the guys that are just post and buy, sell holds, and their track record is basically poor, right? And allows us to sort by folks who have obviously done well in the past, and that makes these projections a little bit better. So 4 buys, 2 holds, median price target of only $10.80. That is a 22.75% downside from where we are today. So not a lot of momentum from the best performing analysts. I did check the timestamps in TipRanks, which it allows you to do to see when this news came in. The most recent of the buys actually came in yesterday, and it had a target price of 13. So not a huge upside being projected, at least by TipRanks analysts. All right, researching on the internet, as I always do, it's especially important for stocks like this because once you get into biomeds, biotech, all of that stuff, I have zero medical background, FYI. So it's up to me to go scan the wires to see, hey, what are other people saying about Inovio right now so that I can bring that information to you guys. I found an article on Motley Fool that was published on April 27th, so right, fresh article here, that I thought did a very good job of answering my question, which is, you know, what is the speculation play for Inovio? Obviously, we have to get through approvals, right? They're in phase 1 right now of their testing process. There's 3 phases, and the final phase is the big one because it's basically the medical people saying, hey, this is safe enough that you can try on a larger population, not the full population, but you can take this study out to thousands of people, and we're not super concerned that, you know, everybody's going to die or have a disastrous effect with it. So we're only in phase 1 now. Everybody's in phase 1, including Moderna, etc. But here's how Motley Fool breaks down the opportunity, and I think it's a good overview. All right, focusing on the yellow highlights here. These are comments from George Budwell from Motley Fool. First up, there are several companies vying to bring a COVID-19 vaccine to market, many of which have far more resources than Inovio. So even if Inovio hits the market, there's no guarantee that it will be able to successfully compete in a crowded market. Second, Inovio won't realize any sales revenue from its experimental vaccine for a very long time. The enormous run-up, in turn, is clearly being fueled by pure speculation. And when he says run-up, he means run-up in the stock price. Then here at the bottom, you see, all told, Inovio stock may keep ticking higher over the short term, but that's not a particularly great reason to buy a risky clinical stage biotech stock. Therefore, patient investors with a long-term outlook may want to look elsewhere for more fundamentally driven growth opportunities. So obviously George Budwell is on the bear side of Inovio, and I think he makes some pretty fair points. And I will assume rather safely that George has much more experience in biotech than I do, because my experience is zero. So I do take opinions like this seriously, and I try to think about them. And I would say the flip side though with Inovio, if you want to get on the bull case, is, well, hey, what if they land the exact formulation that's going to be hard to replicate? Then we could see a case where Inovio's essentially cornered the market. That being said, it does seem like a long shot, that particular opportunity. So I think that there's revenue here for Inovio, but my quick take is it just seems like there's a lot of things that have to go right. All right, so my bottom line opinion on Inovio, as someone who traditionally invests long-term into bigger market cap companies that have proven to grow earnings year after year, when I look at a stock like Inovio and I start to dig through the research, I'm seeing this as more like a lottery ticket, where you're going to have to hold it and you're going to have a small percentage chance that the stock could go up significantly. And even if the vaccine does get approved, it appears that the revenues from that vaccine and those revenues that would fuel the fundamental side of Inovio appear to be a couple years away if everything goes right. So the key for me for long-term investors and folks that are trying to make strategic gains in the stock market is you have to understand the opportunity cost of holding Inovio. So while you do have a chance, let's say you got in at $3 right before the rush, and you're hoping that it goes to whatever number's in your mind, right? I'll just say $50. You have to understand that it could take a while, if everything goes right, to hit that $50, if it hits that $50. And in the meantime, every day you hold it, there's every other stock in the market that's going up or down that may or may not offer a better play. So if you're down to your last $5,000 or something in the market and you put it all in Inovio, particularly today at $13 with no real upside in the future, at least not for a few months, you could really be holding yourself back, because there's a lot of opportunities in a volatile stock market, not only to get faster gains, if that's what you're looking for, but also get great long-term holds at cheaper prices. All right, so at the end of the day, at least from my perspective, if I bought into Inovio and I got in low, let's say $4 or $5, as soon as the press hit on this, stock's at 13 today, I personally would take those profits, and I would bank them, and I would look for maybe another opportunity to jump into Inovio, knowing that this timeline is going to be a little bit longer. I don't think tomorrow you wake up and see a huge spike. I am not even sure if you see a huge spike, say, by the 4th of July. I am looking to grab my cash in hand right now for the stock. You know, hypothetically, let's say it went up $10 since I bought it. I'm taking that cash. I will watch Inovio, but I'm going to at least claim my winnings, so to speak, for a stock like this that could go, you know, either way. In fact, probably more likely to go down than it is to go up. That's my opinion. All right, guys, so that's my take on Inovio, one of the hottest stocks in the market right now. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please give a like and subscribe if you enjoy stock market analysis. I'll see you on the next video.